So the other night, I mentioned it on the Peaceful Rebellion Telegram group. If you want to join us, you've got to be a nice person. The link's in the video information. The other night, I saw 21:21 on the clock. Then I saw 22:22, and then I saw 23:23 in the same night. Now, I see repeated numbers often, and I always smile when I see them, and I remember what the emissaries taught me about what they mean, right? But I've never seen three sequences of numbers in 3 hours. That was unusual for me, and I thought, that's something special, and I want to ask what that's about. So I asked the emissaries, what's that about? What does it mean? What they said was that the veil is lifting. No, they didn't say lifting, because that's cliche, isn't it? The veil's lifting. No, they said the veil is thinning. All right? The veil is thinning between this dimension and the dimension that's on its way. Okay? It's like morphing. Morphing, that's probably a good word. And they said because of that, we are going to see more and more of these coincidences, these unions, these meetings that are unexpected and that happen. These wonderful moments, very much like in the Celestine prophecy. The Celestine prophecy, that was one of the things that happened, wasn't it? All of these incredible coincidences, and this is what's happening right now. But I was asking them, why is it numbers? I mean, listen, everybody gets different things. Some people see other things that are messages, people hear stuff. I just happen to see repeated numbers, and lots of people do. So I said to them, who makes the numbers? Who makes that happen? Are they like the little, like pixie people that make it happen? And they said, no, the numbers are always there. Okay? And what they showed me was this, and I've talked about my experiences with ayahuasca. When ayahuasca is the strongest psychedelic plant medicine in the world, and when you take that, what happens is the world. It's what I think. This is my metaphor. When I'm in the ayahuasca experience, what I am shown is what lies behind the matrix. Right? So I'm showing something. It's almost like I'm showing the structure of the universe behind this fake thing that we see, and it's fractals, and it's a structure that you see, right? With obviously lots of other things like eyes and serpents and dragons and stuff like that. But it's all structured, and I have conversations with the little pixies behind the ones who create all of that. And I have a chat with them, okay? And that's what the emissary showed me, that what's happening is we are seeing the structure of the universe. And what is the structure of the universe? It's numbers, right? And I know in the Matrix they showed us this, didn't they? Yeah, but Tesla said the same thing, didn't he? So if you really want to understand the universe, he was talking about 3, 6, and 9 or whatever. But it's numbers. Numbers are kind of, if you imagine, the universe is a mathematical structure. And I think that's why when you access it through things like ayahuasca, that's what you see. You see this mathematical structure. If you ever watch artists when they draw ayahuasca stuff, it's like, it's like that blot thing. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it just keeps zooming in and more Engelblot or something like that. That's mathematical. That's produced through a mathematical formula. And so that's why we see numbers. That's what they were saying. That what we're doing is we're seeing the structure of the universe behind this matrix. So I was saying to them, all right, if the numbers are there, obviously the numbers are there. They're on a clock. They're there all the time. Why is it that some of us are seeing them more? The sleeping people, they don't see them. Right? Why? And what they were talking about was the fact that if you imagine, I'm in this room, and at any one time there are tons and tons of radio frequencies surrounding me. I'm bathed in radio frequencies. And if I got a radio and I started to tune it, then I can find bands where I can hear some beautiful music, or then I can hear conversation. Yeah. And so what they're saying with the numbers is that all that's happening is we are tuning in to that band, that frequency. The people who aren't seeing that are just not tuning into that particular frequency. So sleeping people, of course, they're on AM, yeah? They're on AM, it's crackly and it's horrible. Playing shit music. And we are tuning into FM, high quality, yeah? High quality, beautiful. And that's all that's happening. And as we move forward, our ability to tune in is increasing, and so we're seeing more and more. And obviously, because the frequency is increasing and getting stronger, we're able to find the band. Sometimes, can you remember how it used to be? You'd be farting around for ages and you're like trying, moving at a nanometer on the dial, trying to get the right channel. Now it's like, hey, double numbers, messages. That's where we are. Okay, so if you see numbers, just know that the reason that you're seeing them is that you're tuned in. You're tuned in well, and so you can be happy. Is there a message behind the numbers? I'm sure lots of people work on, what that particular number means or whatever. But take the whole message as you're doing the right thing, you're in the right place, and you're tuned in. Okay? And if you see other messages that aren't numbers, but these are these repetitive things that are outside of the normal, know that you were tuned in perfectly to that. And the more that we spend time in this place, the more tuned in we're going to become. And then there's going to come a point where every fucker is going to see them. Yeah? Because they're not going to be able to not see them. However, we are kind of like the scouts, the ones at the front going, look, they're over here, look. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. It's really bizarre. It's like you opened up the doors of perception in your mind. That's all. It's just opening doors. And then suddenly you see the numbers and that's it. There's no return. Yeah? And it just gets stronger and stronger. Is it our mind? Is it our mind making us see the numbers? Now, I've heard this. People go, well, what's happened is all you've done is you have created this program in your mind that it seeks it out. Have you heard this before, this argument? It seeks it out. Of course. And it works exactly the opposite. Because when you don't want to see something, your mind will not let you see it. Okay? And when you want to see it, your mind will let you see it. That's how the mind works. That doesn't mean that they're not there. They're there. But if you don't want to see it, your mind will not let you see it. And that's what's happening with all of the sleeping people at the moment. Their mind has closed the doors of perception. And so they don't see it. But they think that you're just seeing it because you want to. Of course we're fucking seeing it because we want to. That's the whole point of it. Yeah? The more we want, the more we expect, that's what we get. That's called creation. That's where we are. We're all creating. And when they understand that, instead of calling us names, then they might start to do it themselves. And that'll be good. Yeah. So in the meantime, we continue to see what we want to see and see it more often. Tune your dial. Get that dial spot on. Okay? Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you all. I love you all. Bye-bye.